Welcome to the next installment of the Planetside 2 new player interviews. Unfortunately, the next one was supposed to be a player that had been in the game during Courtier or the tutorial level. However, due to certain people acting like asshats, for lack of a better word, both people backed out. Lucky for us though, after editing down and listening through the interview I have with another person, I realized that the issues presented in this interview represent different problems than the one previously mentioned. As you listen, you'll find that a lot of the problems referenced in this interview have more to do with the player community than having a tutorial that spoon feeds you WASD and what have you. Don't worry, this isn't really about toxicity or anything about that. As you'll see, it's more about maybe reaching out and giving somebody that looks lost a nudge in the right direction. Let me know in the comments what you think we can do to help with these situations after you've listened through the interview, and if you know someone that tried Planetside 2 but decided not to stay and they'd be willing to have an interview with me, I would be more than happy to make contact with them if you would facilitate that. Alright, so this is the illustrious Matt Zion of Zion Mainframe Gaming and Reckless Eating.
Yeah, nobody knows Zion Mainframes. It's Reckless Eating.
For those of you that don't know Reckless Eating and are only in the Planetside world, Reckless Eating is approximately 7.1 rels. So a little bit of YouTube math there. So we're going to talk about, you said you tried Planetside 2 with a couple friends, and it was abysmal for you. Is that a correct statement?
Okay, so me and my partner on the gaming channel and the guy that films our stuff on Reckless Eating, Old Man Tom, tried it together. Because it's a free game, you know, I know it's a really popular game. A lot of people love this game. I didn't loathe it so much as he did. I think he hated it a lot more than I did. I kind of understood going in the drawbacks that we were going to face right away. Like, I could have probably done one more video on it, but he was done. And, you know, without your partner, you're not going to you're not going to keep going.
All right, I can understand that. So, what initially attracted you to Planetside 2?
We just had a lot of fans request us to play it because I know it's a really large free game to play, and in this day and age, if something's free, a bunch of people are going to play it, even if it's crap. But I know Planetside 2 can be really good if you put the hours into it. We weren't willing to put the hours into it, so we didn't like it.
All right, and around what time frame did you try Planetside 2?
Oh man, I can't even remember. It was.
I remember you talking about it like in October. You were gonna try it, like back at that Halloween party.
Oh god, it was so long ago. I can look it up real quick if you give me a second. I'm actually looking right now.
All right, cool.
Let's see. Okay, so we tried it 2 years ago, and it was July 17th of 2013.
All right. And did you ever try it again after that?
No. That was it. It was
at a given time frame. I don't blame you. That was there at least. Did they have the tutorial level back then? I'm trying to remember.
If there was one, we skipped it because we're a horrible gaming channel, and I don't like doing tutorials. I can understand people's frustrations with that because you really should do tutorials. But I like just jumping into a game kind of without any type of hand holding and just kind of see if I can roll with it. In my opinion, a good game, you can still just play it without a tutorial. A good game can get you into it without that much experience. Like, I would say Chivalry is a good example of that. You should play the tutorial, but if you don't, eventually you can figure it out. And I feel like with Planetside 2, I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing and what the hell was going on.
Now they have like what's called, it's sort of like the equivalent of Tutorial Island on RuneScape, like low-level characters only.
Yeah.
It's a place called Courtier, which a lot of people have been hailing as the way to help new characters, and the people that aren't hailing it as that are actually hanging out on that new area with twinks, trying to kill some easy targets.
Yeah.
But let's move on here. So, describe the first 30 minutes of Planetside 2 that you experienced.
Well, we only played for 21 minutes, it seems.
It's okay, the last guy only played for 20 minutes, too.
Okay. So, I think what happened is, I call it the Halo rule, or the Call of Duty rule. Unless you play this type of game for, I mean, bare minimum 20, 30 hours to really either get good at it, or some of these games in order to basically unlock a lot of the better weapons or some of the more fun aspects of the game to make your character better. You just get slaughtered by people that are so much better than you. And one example of what was happening to us, and I'm sure it was situational, but we were stuck in this tiny little base and the entire map was taken over and getting destroyed by the other side, whatever it was. And all I remember is Tom and I would walk out, die, like, and they respawn us inside that building. Walk out, die.
Yeah,
respawn,
they
walk out, die.
eventually put teleporters inside those buildings, so that was less likely to happen.
Yeah, well, that's what happened to us. There was one point I remember that actually the reason why we played a little longer was he and I made a break for it and kind of ran around a rock. And for, I think, 5 minutes of video, you see us kind of just sneaking around. I mean, everybody's still losing on our side, but we're sneaking around until we come up on one guy. This dude was just huge. And he just slaughtered both of us, and that was when...
I'm guessing you're referring to a mech suit. He kind of looked like he was in a power loader from the Alien movie. Sure,
but he absolutely killed me and Tom, no problem. And then Tom was like, "That's it, I'm done," and I joined him. So.
And I'm gonna take a guess here and say that you probably had no idea that you probably could have pulled one of those giant robot suits for yourself.
No, I mean, the one goal that I wanted to play as, because I had watched, I don't know if you know, a YouTuber named X. He was flying around in a some sort of dropship thing. And so that's what we both wanted. It was like one person flies, one person shoots type thing. And we were trying to get that, but obviously once we played,
there's the really big one called the Galaxy, and then there's the Liberator, which is like a gunship.
Yeah, and we figured out you had to play a long time to unlock it, and I'm not going to invest time into a free game like that when I have 30 other games that I bought that I actually know well and want to play.
And then let's bring it back in. What particularly, like, if we had to boil it down to like particular bullet points, what would you say drove you away from Planetside?
Yeah, just dying every 2 seconds. I couldn't enjoy the game. Like that's the problem. I wish that I had known if there was like a zone I could go to, and that's maybe if there was a tutorial, but I really don't remember there being one. But we just picked a random game, and it put us in a random spot, and we just died and died.
That sounds about right for the original tutorial, and I feel they really shat the bed on that. They should have had what they have now called Courtier at launch, which was Courtier specifically. You are not allowed to be above rank 15 to be there. Of course, the previously mentioned twinks are hanging out, racking up easy kills, but it's still designed to be a safe space where newbies can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, like Warcraft had. I know Warcraft had a lot of those zones, just so that you could at least get the gist of the game. But like it put us somewhere. We died a lot. It reminded me a lot of Halo too. So like, or not the Halo number 2, but one of the Halo games. Like the last one I played was, I think I played 4 or 3. And you try playing it online, you just get slaughtered. I mean, like unless you put 30, 40 hours into the game, you're going to get absolutely.
Yeah, like I just tried to get back into Counter-Strike. I realized I somehow owned Go, even though I have no recollection of paying for it. I tried to get back into that, and it's like, wow, it's similar to Source, but it's like, wow, everyone is destroying me.
I find it absolutely insane that the number 1 selling game on Steam is a game that's that old. That all of a sudden, it just, in the last 2 years, it's become this monster again out of nowhere. And it's just like, it's unstoppable. But like, it's such an old game, and we get so many requests that people say, "Hey, I want to see you and Tom play this game," because there's all those mods and stuff like you can play. There's all kinds of different maps and variations. But at the same time, I feel like we would download it, we'd play it, and we'd spawn in, die, spawn, die, spawn, die, because we're not good at it, and I haven't played it for years. And I think it's the same exact problem I would have that I did have at Planetside.
Yeah, and then going for what drove you away, what things do you think would have kept you playing, or what would convince you to try Planetside again?
I thought that the overall experience of like the gunplay, graphics were good. The fact that it was free is also a great, it's not 100% free because in order to speed the game along, you have to pay to kind of get it going. But I mean, the fact that you can try it out basically for free, and if you really put the hours in, you play the game for free. It was really nice. I just don't want to play a game where I'm going to die every 2 seconds until I, finally figure out what I'm doing. I think that if they made it a little easier for people to pop in that have no idea what Planetside is, Like, I didn't even know there was a Planetside 1. I had no idea that was a thing. So Planetside 2 was my first experience even hearing about the series. And yeah, just being able to pop in and actually play without dying would be very, very helpful.
Well, I can always, like I said in Halloween, I can facilitate that because before I gave up on Planetside, I was actually running a Twink character and not even using my gun, but sort of like ferrying newbies around in the training area.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to give it another shot, I might be convinced to give it another shot myself.
You would have to convince Tom. Tom really didn't like it.
I'm not sure I could do that. And now I have to just bring this around because I'm going to cut a bit of this out. And then,
oh yeah, go for it.
So thank you so much for joining me and talking about your Planetside 2 experience. And if anyone wants to know where you can find Matt, we can find him on youtube.com/ZionMainframeGaming or youtube.com/RecklessEating. See you guys next time.
Bye.
All right, and let me just kill the recording now.
Oh.